Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's 6 a.m. Coffee with Shanda. I do this Monday through Friday. I can't tell you how long I will do this for at 6 a.m., but I will say that right now, Monday through Friday, this is a great way to keep your motivation, to get your questions answered. In the comment box, I actually have a suggestion box. And so today's question came from a suggestion box, but you're always welcome. You are always welcome to stop and give me a suggestion so that I can help serve you better. So Coffee with Shanda is about really just giving you an opportunity to get your questions answered. I don't know what community you study in. Maybe you study already in the HeartCore Business community, which is the community that I run, or maybe you study with one of the other amazing coaches out there in this world. It's so easy to find great coaches online now. Hopefully you're following somebody who has the quality of life that you want, and has the results that you want, and you're not making your decisions based on how much a coach actually costs. But saying that, it is a great way for you to just bump your results, right? It's a great way to start the day and bump your results. So good morning, Blanca. Wendy, how are you? Wendy, I'm trying the method. Jade, Susanna, Monty, how are you? Awesome, you guys on Instagram. Nice to see you. I hope you're having your coffee this morning. Here's our 6 a.m. Coffee with Shanda. You got this mug. And I am drinking hot water and lemon this morning. Okay, so let's rock this. Okay, so I have like a great suggestion box question, and it's about this woman who has asked me to keep her name quiet, so I'm going to do that. And she said her number one employee is asking for a raise, but feels that that it's premature. And I don't think it, based on the way she filled out the suggestion box, which I recommend that you do today. It's up in the comment section of this video. She said, basically when I read through her comment box, it said, you know, this person is her number one employee or team member. The goal that she has is to become really famous and well-known locally. It sounds like she has a brick and mortar business. Brick and mortar just means that it's a like on your local corner, there's an actual like building. But the thing is that the bad news that she's facing is she's having a hard time selling to new clients. And so I would be willing to bet if she didn't have a hard time selling to new clients, that she would feel a lot more willing, maybe even not feel like it was premature to give a raise to her number one team member. So I don't know that for sure. But I do know when you have really good talent on your team. Like I had somebody who worked for me last year, super powerful woman, and she asked for a raise, like I swear to God, 3 times, 4 times in a year. And I just got to the point where if she asked me for another raise, then she needs to go find another job. I'll tell you what my thought process was behind that. The person wanted a raise, they were a rock star, but honestly, their skills didn't match getting a raise. That's the truth. Their skills did not match getting a raise. They felt like they were much more valuable financially than they actually were to the company, right? So there's that aspect that you have to think about. However, if it is a number one team member that is really making life so much better for you and they're worth the value of the raise, right? Like you value paying them more money, but you're in a situation that, let's say you're not selling enough, or the company's not making enough revenue, then you'll build a case like it feels premature, or you'll actually build a case, because that's how our mindset works. You'll build a case to prevent you from being generous, right? So the goal is the question is that you first ask yourself, does this person deserve more money? And if I had the money, would I actually believe that this person should get a raise? And if the answer is yes, then I would recommend coming up with an incentive plan for yourself and the team member to be able to grow the company in a certain time frame to be able to give them a raise. This is called visioning. When you vision and you work in teamwork with the people on your team, then you're all moving to the same goal, right? So everything as an entrepreneur does not need to land on your shoulders. I know that's a moment because we actually feel like it does. We feel like we've been taught that if something is going to happen, that we have to be the person to make it happen. And the deal is that you actually have to be a strong enough leader. Everything comes down to leadership, like everything, right? You have to be a strong enough leader that you start thinking outside the box and start thinking team. And team doesn't mean that you're the dictator and they're out there, everybody on your team is all your assistant and you're running or driving all the shots. Team means that you include people on your team to help you make decisions. So one of the things we do in the accounting department, I incentivize everything, right? Like everything except for my executive assistant. But once a year, my executive assistant is on an incentive plan as well. But that's a problem. I need to fix that. Even when I'm saying this, I need to fix that. You want hungry people on your team, right? Is this helping you guys? If this is helping you guys, please just say, yes, this is helping. You want powerful, hungry people on your team. And so the way that you do that is you do things like incentive plans. So for instance, our accounting department is incentivized, and I'd recommend this, anywhere between $200 and $300 extra a month, right? To keep, like I run a coaching company, right? To keep our payments of our clients and our members in check, meaning that there's a time frame. Like people pay on the 1st and the 15th of every month inside my company. If you coach with us, you pay on the 1st or the 15th. We don't make special deals for the 2nd or the 3rd or the 20th. And that's just because it becomes a logistical nightmare inside of my company now. So the 1st and the 15th, that's our agreement with our clients. They can choose one or the other, right? Now my accountant is incentivized, even though she gets paid a salary, she's incentivized between $200 and $300. It's actually one flat rate, right? But she's incentivized in that range to be able to keep all of the memberships up to date. If somebody's credit card goes, when you change a credit card or a credit card is being sent to you, or maybe you had fraud on your account and you don't have a credit card, it's up to her to keep our cash flow and our members' payments and everything to do with payments, accounts receivable, in a certain range, right? So it's 10%. So that's run really well, right? I found that I used to have a 15% delinquency, and that was still good in the industry, which means that my cash flow ranged by 15 to 20% every month based on credit cards not working, people trying to break agreements, things like that, right? And so my accountant is incentivized, even though it's her job, that if she keeps it at 10%, then she makes this flat rate every single month, which is between $200 and $300 every single month. Now, that's a car payment, right? Sometimes I think as entrepreneurs because entrepreneurs see everything better. Like I thought I was going to do $1 million more this last year than I actually did. Right? And that's like a total visionary thing, right? Like we entrepreneurs think everything is better than it is, right? Or if you have a negative, poor mindset, you think everything is worse than it is, which works against you, right? If this is helping, I'm just going to ask you to take a moment and share this video. If this is helping, take a moment and share this video. My point in doing these is to bring this information to more people who this can help. I'm not making offers on here. I'm just giving. So if this makes a difference, let me know and share this video right now, please. Thank you. If you do this, you're going to find whether or not you have a team member who is hungry or you have a team member who's just there for the paycheck, right? You don't want anybody on your team that's just there for the paycheck. You want people who are on your team that want to help you grow the business, right? They want to help you grow the business. That's what a good team looks like. If you look at NFL football, or you look at hockey, or you look at gymnastics, everything's a team. You usually have a coach, Like every great team has a great coach. So if you're missing a great coach, go find a great coach. You're always welcome to reach out to us, but there's many great coaches in the industry. Find one that you just totally respect, right? Find one who can kick your butt through your emotional triggers to get the results that you want, because a coach takes you through everything you don't like to go through to get to the result, right? They're not there to be your friend. They're actually there to coach you like an athlete as an entrepreneur to get to your end result. Then you want to make sure that you find team members, because the fastest way to grow is through team members. But you don't want to keep all of the work on your shoulders, because if you do that, then now everything's reliant on you. What if something happens to you? What if you can't work for a month? What if, right? You want to create a company that literally is set up that if something happens to you, the company can still run. So I'm a business coach. A lot of the talent relies on me. However, in the last 2 years, I have been building out the company so that there are other people who are just as strong and many cases stronger than me in certain topics that come and train our clients. This is actually set up this way that if something happens to me, the company doesn't go under. So you can see how important team is. But you need hungry team. So if you're in a situation where somebody's asking you for a raise, first ask yourself, if I had the money, is this raise valuable and worth me giving, right? And then secondly, do I have hungry team members that I incentivize, which can help you alleviate some of the problems of like cash flow and growing a company. Another way that you could incentivize a team is, for instance, we have coaches. We actually gamify our coaching department where they actually get points. They get points on certain success benchmarks that our clients have to hit. So for instance, we teach our clients at the basic level, when you come in to work with us, we teach you how to build an audience, an email list, and then we teach you how to sell to that audience. It is the most cost-effective way of growing a business. It just is. If I told you to, a lot of people want to speak, right? Speaking is amazing. But if you want to speak on a really good stage, often you're going to have to pay a lot of money to speak on a good stage. And if you don't know your messaging, you don't know how to sell, and you don't know how to do follow-up well, then you won't optimize that opportunity. You might make your money back or you'll lose money, but you won't optimize it to the way you can. I'm all about optimizing. That's why I like people to build email lists, learn how to sell to them, so that you can optimize your selling process, your follow-through process, your follow-up process, and then build your team. Then I like you to stack these other strategies on top of that, right? So I share that with you because at that basic level of teaching people how to do that, we incentivize our coaches to get the results that we've promised those clients, right? We promise that we'll deliver the information, but not everybody takes the information and does anything with it. So the coaches are incentivized on a certain list build size. They get a certain amount of points for a list build size based on their small groups. So we divvy up our clients into groups, and there's a coach that's responsible for each group. And the coach is responsible for getting the results with their team. Right? So they got a certain actual result with their email list build. They got a certain monetary result. They made a certain amount of money, which is more than they've spent to coach with me, right? I love how we go to university and and college and we end up with these huge debts. Well, if you come work with me, the goal is incentivize you more than monetize what you invest in me. So it's like free education. I can imagine going to school and actually having a free education because it monetized while I learn. That's the goal inside my company, right? They are incentivized on getting their small groups to their masterminds and the live events, because if people come to the live events, they get better results, right? So you can incentivize, even though sometimes it's not all monetarily, you can incentivize your team in creative ways so that they're hungry enough to help you create the results that you want to create. And if you create the results you want to create for people, then you get reorders, right? You get reorders with people, which is essentially like giving yourself a raise, right? If you make an offer and you attain a customer or a client, and then they stay with you and keep reordering, that's how wealth is built. Well, so many people don't get this. They think wealth is built on how much money I make from a product launch or a sales campaign, but that's not true. Wealth is actually made by compounding your results, which means you really need to get into the reorder business, whether you're selling skincare, whether you're selling clothing apparel, whether you're selling coaching, consulting, whether you're network marketing, whatever it is that you do. If you notice the good businesses, they're on a reorder subscription base. That's how wealth is built. So look at your team and say, how do I incentivize your team based on either lead gen, reorder, or keeping more of what you've already sold or created? And if you look at those three areas and you ask yourself, how do you incentivize it? Don't feel bad about asking your team member if you want a raise or what do you want, and find out what they want, and then incentivize the package either financially or trips. There's so much. When we, true story, last year, we do a 5-day, I guess, brain dump planning meeting with everybody in HeartCore. And first we ask all of our clients for feedback on how we've done. We take that information into a 5-day, and I fly my entire team in, and we sit for 5 days together all day. Like we stop everything, and we look at the feedback from the clients. We see what is the most strongest feedback that we want to get better on, and what did they love about what we're doing, and then we build that into the planning, and then my entire team helps create their incentive package and their incentive packages and things like that. Do you know that not one came up money this year or last year for this year? None of them came up money, which is crazy, right? We think it's always money. And don't get me wrong, money definitely works, right? It definitely works. But it was like, a 5-day trip to Hawaii. It was like what money would buy, right? Like, why do you want more money? Well, I want more money because I want to go do this. Well, what if you provided that? There's a benefit to that, because if you're not giving cash, then it's not taxed for them, right? Like, it's a totally different game. So you can actually take that money and create a result for them that they get more out of it because you actually provided the trip, or you actually provided, one of our team members wanted to take her family to Disney, but like the season passes of Disney, right? And so instead of me giving her, $1,700 or $1,200 or whatever that looks like, I actually buy her the pass, right? Versus her getting taxed on that money. So just think outside the box and know that you can set a vision that your team member helps you create an end result, and then incentivize the game so that you win, they win, everybody wins. And that's what I think is a good, well-run business, is when everybody's winning. So you don't have team members who say they want something and they can't get it. And I don't want a team member that says they want something and they're not willing to help us get it, right? And so you can quickly see who's on your team and who wants to play. So I hope this helped. If it helped, please leave me a comment. Tell me what your takeaway was. Did this help you? And I will see you tomorrow morning on 6 a.m. Coffee with Shanda. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.